It's some Sunday afternoon basketball from the BJC as the 2-0 Penn State Lady Lions set to take on the 1-0 Duquesne Dukes here from University Park, Pennsylvania. So glad you could join us on this Sunday afternoon here from State College. Kasey Kreider alongside Bronwyn Liber. Glad to be with you this afternoon. And Bronwyn, when you talk about these two teams, Penn State, they have been dominant the first two games of the season, particularly coming out in the first quarter. However, this is a Duquesne team that's coming off a big victory Monday over Princeton. They've got their eyes on a potential upset. Hicks will be the trigger man from under the basket. 23 seconds to play. They get it into Baldwin. Baldwin the bounce to Hicks. Hicks trying to keep it alive. He lost it. Hemprin gets on top of it, but he throws it away to Baldwin. Baldwin to Dunn. Up ahead. Wahab the flush. Clovis Wahab the dagger for the Nittany Lions. Penn State up to 6 fouls. Next one will put the Buckeyes at the line for 1-and-1. Inbound pass to Battle under the basket. Battle trying to battle on Nick Kern Jr., and he finds the nylon once again. Jamison Battle hasn't been cooking the Lions from deep, but he's been a monster in the paint. 12 new players, 6 freshmen, 6 transfer, as that skied a little too high off the glass from Wittenberg. Penn State up ahead to Elliott. She'll pull up from the baseline. Left it a little too strong, but Rust is there for the rebound. And Rust gets the bucket. And one for Cam Rust. How's that for your first collegiate bucket? Penn State in this quarter has outscored the Dukes 15-8 to this point. Inbound to Campbell. Murray got it back. Corner pocket. Mariah Murray able to drill it from deep. Penn State, though, still with a chance to try and tie on this possession with a three. As Hall over to Campbell. Campbell swinging across to Gabby Elliott. They'll play a little pitch and catch one more time. Campbell trying to work past an Odin screen. Odin gets it back for Penn State. Lady Lions running out of time on the shot clock, so Elliott will hoist it up, and Gabby Elliott connects the dots from deep, and we're tied at 43. Quick inbound to Puff Johnson on the wing. Back up top to Nick Kern Jr. at the top of the key. Now he tries to drive inside toward the lane. Drop it off for Niederhauser, and Conan Niederhauser with the and one flush. They get it across to Damar Kelly. Pinedo has it deflected and taken away by Ace Baldwin Jr. Baldwin with the robbery. Up ahead, Dillion lays it off the glass. Freddie Dillion, the fifth for Penn State. Off the window and through. Now trying to drive toward the baseline. He'll dump it off for Zach Hicks. Hicks back up top to Nick Kern Jr., who just checked in. Kern to his former VCU teammate Baldwin. Baldwin trying to drive the lane. Kick out to Hicks, top of the key. Step around. Kern's going to run out of time on the shot clock. He'll hoist it up and he'll drill it. Oh, Nick Kern Jr. with the shot clock expiring. Knocks down a circus three for his first triple of the year. And Purdue-Fort Wayne will get another opportunity, up by 3, inside 5 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Morton Robertson for the Mastodons. Back to Kuchel. Kuchel working on Johnson, driving in from the wing. Conan Niederhauser with the block for Penn State, and Puff Johnson picks up the loose change. Levine on the foul line. Levine driving in. Levine scoops it in and scores. It's Ella Levine's world. The world just living in it right now in Buffalo, New York. The Cougars looking for at least one more stop. Ouellette will throw it in, trying to find Levine. Levine off the window and through for the lead. And she gets the steal and got it back through with the foul. Ella Levine, oh my goodness, you are inhuman. Back upstairs to Means, closely guarded, trying to turn the corner. Donovan Means, Euro out to Wall, wide open, Adrian Wall. This has been an All-American second half for the Apprentice School. The Apprentice says we're going to run it out. And for the second time in school history, the Apprentice School Builders go back-to-back champions of Men's Division I in USCAA basketball once again. Bird first has to make the first. And he won't. It rims out. Won't fall. Offensive rebound collected. Gray for the tie. Oh, my goodness. It's a long two. It's a long two. They say it's a long two. And Miami Hamilton has won it 53-52. There are your D2 men's USCAA champions for the first time in school history. Penn State has still not led yet in this game. They've got a chance to take it here with a basket. Allie Campbell will run the point for Penn State. Now back to Gabby Elliott. Elliott over to Campbell, setting up Merkel, down low, posting up is Gracie Merkel, second chance opportunity, she draws the foul. Gracie Merkel back into the ball game, and on the first trip down the floor for the Lady Lions, she earns her way back to the charity stripe. And we'll see now if Penn State can take their first lead of the day. They've been close on a couple occasions. They were down by as many as 18 at one point in the first quarter. Get a look at the replay watching at home as she's able to draw the foul on Keandra Brown, the center for Duquesne, but Merkel misses her first. Penn State was strong from the charity stripe early on, but have had a couple misses since then, now just 7 for 10 as a team. Merkel will go for the tie, number 44 in blue and white, trying to make it 44 all, and she does.
Just like how we nearly ended the half, we are back at tied matches here. Lady Lions, quick trap in their corner, their specialty.
Elliott able to strip it away and get on top of it for Penn State. Here comes Oden. Jayla Oden trying to scoop it up. Wild shot, couldn't get it to fall. Can't cash in as Oden was trying to maybe draw a foul as well, didn't get the call. Either way, this is Matic over to the corner. Kigaku not able to fall. Campbell there to collect it. Campbell will bring it up for the Lady Lions. Over to Oden in the corner. She'll slow things down momentarily, assess her options. Elliott from the foul line, trying to post up Merkel inside. Hutcherson there, too, to take it away. And a foul is called in transition as Oden goes crashing to the floor along with Kiaku. Oden called for the foul. That is her second of the game. Get a look at that replay at home as they just kind of got tripped up with each other. Oden trying to prevent a fast break chance for Duquesne. An area where the Dukes have a 15-13 advantage on Penn State in this game, but that was much more lopsided in favor of the Dukes at the end of the first quarter. Here's Matic from deep, off the back iron. McConnell there for the board. Collecting it at the foul line, now back up top. She'll get it back on the wing, swing it to the corner. This is Moore. Nadia Moore connects on it for Duquesne. 10th triple of the game for the Dukes, but quickly back in transition. Elliott driving to the cup and scoring for Penn State.
Merkel with a bit of a soccer inbound pass there, right over the head to launch it down to the basket.
Nice find from Gracie Merkel to Gabby Elliott. 2 transfers on this Penn State team. We're expected to play a big role this year, as unable to collect it in bounds was Matic. Pass that was a little too tall for her. Steps out right in front of the Duquesne bench, and it's a turnover for the Dukes. Penn State has just been hovering around the tie to down by 1, down by 2.
Just not able to break that seal.
See if they can do it here. Been tied on 2 separate occasions in this game, but Penn State has not yet led today. Trying to get to Merkel inside. Hutcherson there to deflect it away. We'll stay down on this end with 17 on the shot clock for the Lady Lions.
Hutcherson's doing a phenomenal job guarding Merkel there in the paint.
Quickly into Johnson. Johnson going to get it back. Johnson rolls around now to Merkel. Merkel, tough finish and 1 for Penn State. And they finally take the lead off a physical finish from Gracie Merkel. Rasheed Bello checking back in now for Purdue Fort Wayne. Has not scored. Got those 2 early fouls, but he's back off the bench for John Kaufman's squad here. And he'll get it, working to the near side wing. Purdue Fort Wayne working left to right across your phone, tablet, or computer screen. Back up top. Trey Lewis will come on top of it for the Mastodons. Working in just inside the 3-point line for the wing, guarded by the freshman Dominic Stewart. Penn State's defense suffocating. Shot clock down inside of 5. Jackson's got to hoist it, and he knocks it down. It's a long 2 from the top of the key for Jalen Jackson.
Regardless of the outcome of that play, I really liked how Penn State played defense on that. They forced Purdue Fort Wayne to eat into that shot clock and to find a shot. Unfortunately for them, the shot just falls.
Dominic Stewart trying to find his spot on the baseline, but can't hit the jumper. from just inside the three-point line. Misses his first attempt of the evening. Quentin Morton-Robertson brings it back up for the Mastodons. He'll swing it over to Rashid Bello. Bello, who is still not yet scored tonight, but his Mastodons have the advantage. Jackson has picked up the slack. He's got it now working against Kachienze. Kick it to the corner. Trey Lewis. Lewis, nothing but nylon on the way down. From the far side, Trey Lewis drains the three.
Nick Kern's just going to have to respect the play up at the front of the court and leaves Trey Lewis wide open in the corner for that three.
The Mastodons up by 4 now over the Nittany Lions. Penn State trying to get something going. He'll swing it to the far side corner. This is Nick Kern Jr. blocked off by Bello. And intercepting the pass is Morton Robertson for Purdue Fort Wayne. He'll swing it to the trailer, Trey Lewis. Lewis couldn't knock it down from the wing. Stewart collects the board for Penn State. Missed opportunity there for the Mastodons as they were trying to score in transition. Now here's Nick Kern Jr. trying to spin around Morton Robertson. Swing it near side corner. This is Ace Baldwin Jr. trying to drive in toward the elbow, and Baldwin is fouled on his way toward the lane. So that'll be the 9th foul against the Mastodons, and Baldwin will shoot 1-1 for Penn State.
Going back to that steal there by the Mastodons, that almost looked similar to very similar to what Penn State usually does and what Penn State's going to have to get back to. It was just a beautiful ball hawking play there by Purdue Fort Wayne for them to get that, and a beautiful play finding the guy behind him to shoot that three. Just doesn't fall.
That's the 4th turnover that Penn State has committed, and of course this is a Nittany Lion team that has just feasted in the turnover margin. They lead the country. I beg your pardon, ranked 4th in the country in that department. Or that they do lead the country. I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. 10.8, that's the margin in terms of turnovers this season between Penn State and their opponents. Baldwin knocks down the first, trying to knock down the second, does so as well from the charity stripe. It's 28-26. Either way, point remains. Purdue Fort Wayne leading the turnover battle here by 3, and they have 4 points off of 4 Nittany Lion turnovers. Penn State nary a point on only 1 Mastodon turnover to this point. We'll see if that changes here as we close in on the end of the first half. Foul is called on Hicks as Purdue Fort Wayne tries to break it across the timeline. He shoves down Corey Hadnot the second, and that will be the first personal foul on Hicks. A costly one, though, as it'll put the Mastodons in 1-1 of their own.
Yeah, it looks as though Hicks just got a little bit too excited there. The Penn State Nittany Lions playing that full court press defense that they love to play. Hicks going up to his guy and just makes a little bit of contact after he receives the ball. Not really much you can do about that one. Hicks just gotta control himself in those situations.
Hadnot has not missed a free throw yet this year, and I didn't jinx him. He didn't miss that one either on the first. We'll see about the second as Purdue Fort Wayne goes back up by 3, 29-26. Hadnot tied for Jackson as the leading scorers on this Mastodon team. They each have 9. Hadnot will try to become the first to double figures for Purdue Fort Wayne, as he'll look to knock down the second. 8 for 8 on the season from the charity stripe is Hadnot, and make it 9 for 9. Purdue Fort Wayne breaks 30. It's 30-26 with 5:48 to go in the opening half. Back at you here on the USCAA Sports Network for our post-game interview with the player of the game as Apprentice is off to the championship for the second time in the past 2 years. And, of course, Donovan Means, you've been a part of that, and you were a big part of the win tonight for this Builders team. 30 points, just too shy of a career high for you.
Yeah.
And that came despite a bit of a slow start.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ask you, and I'll kind of start with that first. When the shots weren't falling early on in that first half and you guys were down to Berkeley, how did you keep yourself composed and eventually get yourself back into the ball game, leading to that offensive explosion that we saw?
Well, you know, basketball's a game of runs. So, you know, if I got guys on the team that can score, that can hold the weight, you know, I just kind of let the game come to me and just wait for my opportunity. In the second half, it was my opportunity. You know, shots started to fall. Guys started looking for me. You know, it worked out in the end.
It seems like in both games this weekend, going back to Tuesday against Southeastern Illinois and out tonight, you guys have come out with a whole new intensity out of the locker room. How much of that can be attributed to your first-year head coach and Michael Gainey Jr. and how he gets you guys ready to go?
I mean, you know, he's passionate, you know, and, you know, being a first-year coach is not easy. You know, it's not easy to come back and, you know, make it back to the championship again. So the fact that we've done it, you know, just shows the hard work we're putting in. You know, he's bringing in effort, energy every day in practice. You know, even in warm-ups, he's the loudest one on the team. So, you know, it carries on to the guys, and we just try to portray that energy through the game.
Your player of the year, fellow All-American, had to one-up you. Adrian Wall finishing with 31, but you guys combining for 61 points. Adrian, of course, a senior, you a sophomore. How much has he provided a little bit of a mentorship role to you, and what's that connection been like with him, and then also, of course, with your other teammates as you guys have made this run to the championship game again?
I mean, just showing the composure. He's a guy, you can't really speed him up, you know what I'm saying? He's a composed guy. He plays his game regardless of, the defensive intensity. So, I kind of picked that up from him and just learning how to score the ball in clutch moments, you know what I'm saying? Understanding when to put the ball in the basket and which shots to take and where guys like to be.
So I got to ask, in about 18 minutes or so till the other game tips off over there between Lyon and Willem. Are you guys going to go over there to try and check it out, or what's the scouting plan before you guys get ready to go for the championship game tomorrow at 8?
Definitely film. We might try to make it over there depending on, just the situation. But, yeah, if we can get over there and watch them, it would be a great opportunity to just, get a look at them early, see them live in game. But if not, definitely film.
Well, Donovan, congratulations.
Appreciate
you guys
it, man.
back to the championship game for the second year in a row. Donovan Means with 30 points for the Apprentice School Builders this evening. We'll let you go celebrate with your team.
Appreciate it, man.
Congratulations on a great performance.